My favorite high school memory is definitely when we went to Seattle on our annual SDN trip for BV class. It was really, really fun to go across the country. I'd never been to the West Coast before, and it was a really fun trip.
My favorite memory would be sophomore year in baseball. We were coming home from Solenco, and the varsity team lost, and we had to be quiet, but we were having a good time on the JV side, and we put mayo on the back of Joey's neck, and probably the funniest thing I've ever experienced. Also helped with us having to be quiet.
My favorite high school memory would be playing on the basketball and soccer teams. If I had to pick one memory in particular, it would be the game-winning block against Central Dauphin my junior year.
Favorite high school memory is definitely Friday Night Lights.
My favorite high school memory would definitely be hanging out with my friends.
My favorite high school memory is definitely being on a sports team and having those fun late nights at meets or cross-country meets and invitationals, just hanging out with all my friends.
My favorite high school memory has been playing sports with all my friends and just being able to go to school with all my friends.
My favorite high school memory is definitely back in sophomore year. We had Mr. Snyder for chem, and I just had all of my friends in that class, so it was a good time.
My favorite high school memory was the Student Council State Conference, in which I performed a registration of over 1,000 people.
My favorite high school memory has probably been the bus rides back from baseball games when we're away. Joey Peters always makes it fun, and just a little bit of shenanigans going on.
Honestly, it's probably like football practices and the bus rides to and from games. It's just, there's something about like listening to like the weirdest music in the back of the bus. Just a bunch of grown men singing Carly Rae Jepsen just fills a man's heart with joy.
My favorite high school memory would have to be running at districts in track and field my sophomore year.
My hero is definitely my pop-pop. He's my mom's dad, and he's my hero because he moved here from Ireland in the 1900s, and he worked as a carpenter in New York City, and he worked really hard to get to where he is today, and without him, I wouldn't even be here today.
Ken Griffey Jr. is my hero because he's one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
I'd probably have to go with my parents. I just really look up to both of them, as well as my sisters.
My hero would be my dad, because he's the strongest person I know and the smartest person I know too.
Probably my dad. He just raised me pretty much and made me a good person.
My hero is my father. Many people know him, and he's a great guy. He's taught me everything I've known in life, and he's mentored me and walked me through ways of how I should do things in my life. A lot of people look up to him, and I think he's very humbled that many people look up to him, including me, and he's a great person to look up to.
My hero is my grandpa because he's always been there for me and he's always helped out since I was little. He always gives me tips for sports and pretty much anything in life.
My hero is my dad, just because I seen him go through his ups and downs, and they just made me stronger as a person.
My hero is my mother for being such a good parent and encouraging me to do whatever I want to do with my life.
My hero, probably my dad. He's been a really good role model for me. Just all throughout my life, he raised me right. He taught me to be a gentleman and stuff, open doors and all that kind of jazz. And to have pride but not be like arrogant. So yeah, I think definitely my dad. He's a hard worker and I always look up to him.
My hero is probably the author J.R.R. Tolkien, just because he found time to write even though he went to war.
My hero would have to be my dad, because of all the obstacles he had to go through in his life to be where he is today. It's who I look up to the most.
I have a few. They're not really that secret, I guess, but like I can solve a Rubik's Cube. I can shuffle a deck of cards like almost perfectly. Do backflips, back bends, just weird things like that.
I can do a round off back handspring, like the cheerleaders.
Reading lips, but without a mask on.
My secret talent is actually mini basketball dunk on a mini hoop in my house. Many people know about it, and whenever I'm bored, I just grab it's like a dodgeball, like the size of my hand. I just go and I just do some shooting and some dunking, relieves the stress.
My secret talent is I can play the piano.
I can play blindfold chess.
My secret talent is that I'm able to play blindfold chess.
Tim might say something about that.
The best way to describe it is like a sport.
He beats me probably say 2-1.
Yeah, I can toss grapes into my mouth 50 for 50, not even trying. Oh. It's all about the toss. Listen. Oh, there's one. Okay, maybe Skittles.
My perfect date would probably be going out to eat most likely a fancy restaurant, and then afterwards go for ice cream. Then after that, go somewhere in the middle of nowhere and just look up at the stars.
My idea of a perfect date would be to get a nice dinner and then just hang out with a lot of dogs.
Go-karting and mini golf and ice cream. You know, like the Karate Kid golf and stuff.
Definitely a nice dinner than a concert or something.
Idea of a perfect day is definitely sitting on the top of a hill looking down at the sunset, watching the stars eventually.
My idea of a perfect date is going out to eat and then going to a movie.
My idea of a perfect day is definitely like just being a baseball guy, so definitely have to go to a baseball game. New York Mets, so. And then just like go out to eat, I guess, in New York.
My ideal date would be mini golfing in the evening with my significant other.
In Italy, like walking around Rome, be so dope. Be so dope. Or like walking on the beach. I really like the beach a lot. Big beach guy.
My idea of the perfect date would probably be a night on the town, but like not like New York style, but like Lidditz style, where it's like a nice small town. You go out to eat at like a little restaurant there. There's like a lot of little stores that are fun to visit and go in.
My idea of the perfect date would be definitely a Star Wars marathon with Chick-fil-A. That would be it. All day.
Move to the right and you shake that hand. Move to the left and you shake that hand. Meet new friends, tie that yarn. That's how you do the scarn.
Yeah, that one. Yep.
If I could go out to eat with anybody, dead or alive, it would be Will Smith because he's my favorite actor.
If I could go to dinner with anyone, I would definitely choose LeBron James. He's a phenomenal athlete. He's arguably the greatest basketball player of all time, but he does a lot more than basketball. He's a really influential person in his community, as well as all across the country. He started the I Promise School in his hometown of Ohio to help underprivileged kids go to school and get a good education. He donates a lot of money to charity. He started multiple of his own charitable foundations. And he's just a really positive, influential figure.
I would choose Dave Portnoy to have dinner with. He's the president and CEO of Barstool Sports, and he's just a real funny guy, and I'd love to sit down and talk with him.
I'd probably have dinner with Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Just because I feel like it'd be a fun time.
Funniest dude on the planet.
He's a funny guy.
Maybe like dinner and a show all in one.
Probably Juice WRLD, just to understand where his music comes from, like how deep it was.
As you can tell, definitely not Ben Simmons, but Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is my favorite NBA player. He's one of the best players in the league. And I just feel like it's really cool to meet someone like that. Tell me about how his life in the NBA is different than just a civilian's life. Just really cool.
Adam Sandler, just because all his movies are hysterical and seems like a laid-back dude. A normal person, not like a Hollywood famous star. He's just like a normal person.
Probably be Mike Trout, best baseball player on the planet. He's just so good, and I think I'd want to talk to him about baseball as much as I can. Probably would annoy him, but I'd just ask him so many questions.
If I had to have dinner with someone who's alive or dead, it'd probably be my grandpa. He passed away recently, and I really enjoyed talking to him, and so having dinner with him would mean I get to talk with him again and all that.
If I could have dinner with anyone, it would be Lamar Jackson because he is my man crush.
If I could have one superpower, I would want to be able to teleport. It would be really cool to be able to be at like 2 places at once. Basically, you could travel across the country, you could travel overseas to other countries. You could basically just snap your fingers and go on vacation. And then also just running around from school to home to practice and stuff like that would be really easy to get around real quick.
My superpower that I would choose would be super strength. I play baseball, so it'd be nice to hit the ball as far as possible.
If I had one superpower, it would probably be teleportation, just because, I don't know, it makes everything way more convenient. You can get places faster, you can travel a bunch of places, so it's just the best one.
I have to go with the ability to manipulate time. I think of stuff to say later, and I can go back and just change that.
Whatever Sherlock Holmes has. Did you ever watch that movie? Like the stuff he can do? Like Superman would try to like come at me and I would already know what he's gonna do. And I'd be a straight A student.
My superpower would definitely be healing people, just like with a touch. A lot of people are, especially during now, are sick, and a lot of people have diseases such as like cancer and just many other diseases. I feel like it would be really good to heal everyone. Everyone would be back to normal.
A superpower that I would like to have is invisibility. So if I'm like anywhere and I see someone I don't want to talk to, I could just go invisible so I don't have to talk to them.
Being able to read people's minds. I feel like some people hold stuff back face to face, so just read people's minds.
If I could have a superpower, it would be that I was able to move at the speed of light.
Teleportation, because then I could go to Italy.
It'd be to fly, because like that'd just be like cheap airfare. You'd get everywhere quickly. You don't have to deal with Lebanon traffic. There's so many possibilities.
My superpower would be to stretch like Elastigirl, so I can turn off my bedroom light before I go to sleep without leaving my bed.
If I could make a difference in the world, I would want to try and find the cure for cancer. I've known a lot of people that have gone through it, both friends and family members, and I definitely do not want anyone else to have to go through what they did.
If I could make a difference in the world, I would help end poverty because I wouldn't want to see people suffering anymore.
The one difference I would make would be to create equality for everyone, especially with everything that's going on in the world today. I just feel like that's really important.
If I could make a difference, it would be to cure cancer. Cancer has an effect on so many families in the community.
Definitely that every kid has a family. Everybody needs that. It's like, it's your home.
If I could make a difference in the world, it'd definitely be to try and, like again, save as many people's lives as I can, because I know we're doing it for the King of Hearts Foundation, for the American Heart Association, one of the biggest charities in the world. Heart diseases and conditions are one of the biggest that diverts people's lives. And also, like again, the American Cancer Society, one of the biggest diseases that kills many people and affects many people's lives for the rest of their lives. I just feel it would be really nice to save as many people's lives as I can so they can live longer lives and get more memories.
If I could make a difference in the world, it would probably be putting a roof over everybody's head and that everybody has shelter.
If I can make a difference in the world, I'd definitely give good health to everybody. I mean, even with this pandemic going around, it's just really hard to see people struggle and suffer.
If I could make a difference in the world, I would like to create opportunities for those who are disadvantaged.
If I could make a difference, it'd probably be like unifying everyone right now because there's a lot of tension. But yeah, I think if everyone could just set aside their differences, it'd be really good. Hopefully I can do that by just being a positive influence on people. It's really all it is. I mean, you just gotta be nice to people and be positive no matter how they act to you.
I know it's kind of basic, but like just general world peace. So like people that are like suffering, like either at the hands of others or at the hands of something that can't necessarily be controlled. To give support or to give aid to those people.
If I could make a difference in the world, it would be to give underprivileged kids the resources and abilities to play sports, because that was some of the best memories I've had growing up, was playing sports, making friends, and just doing what you love.